possibly noticed at times, because of a long story, which I won't bore you with. Highlights of my holiday. I'm going to call on Kajik to give us his highlights of his holiday. Kajik.
Ladies and gentlemen, and Madam Taylor Topics Master, my goodness, I had 2 holidays. Now, the first one came about because 7 years ago I went to Perth to visit my family. Nieces, nephews, those kind of things, and one of them ended up in hospital while I was there, and all I remember is visiting the Perth medical centres day after day and walking their dog. So it was decided that I will return to Perth, and this was the time to return, and nobody was in hospital, and I didn't have to walk the dog every day, just every second day. And that was wonderful to see the children and things afterwards. But that holiday was booked like a long time ago, and later my dearest daughter decided that instead of coming to South Africa from London like she used to do every year, she said that everybody should go now to London to visit her. So there it was. In December I went to London to see not the Queen, not the King. Harry and Meghan were not available either. But it was cold, but it was so nice. And the highlight of both holidays, ladies and gentlemen, there was no load shedding. Electricity was every day. You didn't have to worry that it would be cold or hot. There was always something to keep you comfortable. So these were the highlights of my holiday. Beautiful cities, beautiful south, one warm, one very cold, but joy nevertheless. Thank you. Sorry?
What was the dog called?
Oh my gosh! No, I forgot. Ivy.
And did you get any snow in the UK?
No, unfortunately. It was cold, but no snow really. You know, that was a bit of a disappointment, but hey, you take what you have. There was some sunshine. And as I always say, when there is sunshine in England, it's such a beautiful place. But it happens only once in 365 days.
Thank you very much. Our next speaker is Busi. Busi, can you come and tell us about your holiday highlights?
I was in a world of my own. I was in Durban. I was in Durban riding the waves for the first time. Enjoying the sea breeze. And next I was looking at the mighty Zambezi flowing like Nanzi's speech. And the next thing, we were all full in the house with all the uncles and the aunts and the sisters. And the next, I was in the village. And every Tom, Dick and Harry was there, from painter, mechanic, and even Madam Speaker Onika was there. And suddenly there was a kerfuffle. There was a kerfuffle when the pastor tapped me on my shoulder and say, "Are you here or there? Could you kindly wake up?" That's when I realized I was having a holiday. Thank you.
When you enjoyed the waves, what were you on? Were you on a surfboard?
I was actually on my tummy, but I was pretending as if it was actually a surfboard.
Thank you very much. Our next speaker is Adrian.
Thank you, madam. What shall I call you?
Topics Master.
Topics master, sorry. Get into another kerfuffle, don't I? Now, my holiday started let me see now, when did I move into the Douglasdale Retirement Village? Around about 2013, I think it was. So my life's been a holiday since then, virtually. I've had lots of holidays since then, but I just want to focus now on what I've done since Christmas. Well, one of the things I remember very well is I do have grandsons, and two little ones. I've got a granddaughter and I've got an old grandson as well, I think. This was a 8-year-old and a 6-year-old, and we took them for a holiday. We went to a dinosaur park. Would you believe that such things actually exist? So we went to this dinosaur park next to the Wall of Africa there. Dinosaurs, they move. And my kids had so much fun, and I had so much fun photographing. Putting their hands into the mouth of both pterosaurs, Rexy, As he kept on closing his jaws there, the little guy would put his fingers in there. It was okay, no problems there. But these things were all away there. I thought this was great fun. But after about an hour, the rain really poured down, and so we had to go into the Bowl of Africa there. And there's an area there, when we're shopping for the rain, it's a playground. In the middle of this sort of playground, there's this big structure, and there's sort of tunnels going through it, and things going absolutely everywhere. And there must have been about 123 kids in this area, which is about the size of around these tables here. And you've never seen a kerfuffle like this at all. But it was great fun. Thank you.
What's your grandson's name?
I've got Giovanni is the oldest one. He's 16, but he wasn't involved in this holiday. And then I have Tyler. He's 8. And then I have little Jakey, who's 6. So keep me busy.
Yep. Thank you very much. And our next speaker is Nancy.
I didn't realize I was on the list. Okay, thank you, Madam Table Topics. Taking me by surprise, I didn't think that I was on the list and that I needed to speak again. Okay, looking at my holiday, what's the topic again?
Highlights.
Highlights. Okay. Well, I can't say that I had any interesting times during the holidays. The time was spent with my traveling, visiting family, and as you had my initial speech, I come from there, so I had to go back there and visit and see how everybody is, which is not from how I started my speech initially, to say that it's a beautiful country, and there's a lot of, let's say, I don't want to get too political, but things have just been completely different to what they used to be like. So visiting right now is not an exciting time. Everything there is all miserable, you know. People are struggling, load shedding, throughout the whole day, probably get power every 2 hours. So we're actually quite fortunate here that we've got power for at least 4 hours. No, not for at least 4 hours, but only load shedding for 4 hours. So that's completely different. So my highlights obviously was to go back, see family and friends, and just connect with everybody. Thank you.
Remind me, how was the situation there with the drought?
With the drought. Well, it was actually very, very hot, and people there, agriculture is one of the main things that people are involved in, but everything has died. So please don't make me say anything more to that because it's such a very nice.
Thank you very
But
much.
I'm happy that we do have the rains, and I understand they're also moving over to the other side. So that is great to hear.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Our next speaker is Rick. Help me welcome Rick.
Thank you, Madam Table Topics Master. Judith and I were debating what to do with our break. The training and programming business slacks off a bit over the festive season. Some of our customers go on holiday. And we were thinking, should we go away? If so, where is cheap? And we thought, Romania. And so indeed what we did was we remained here. I tackled a project that I've been toying with for a while. Now you would probably say, okay, if it's South African I ought to be toying with it. But either way, over the course of time I've done quite a lot of computer training for people. And I thought it was time to put some of my training online using a platform called Teachable. What I've settled on for the first course is an introduction to Excel macros. Now, why would you want to learn Excel macros? If you're a busy person and you have a lot of repetitive work to do on Excel, of course, let's say, for example, you have a list of phone numbers that you need to format decently. Or you get lists of people's names, which are all in uppercase because people haven't remembered how to use the caps lock key. That sort of thing can take you hours and hours to do manually, or you can write yourself just a little macro which you can record, and you can play it back and get through that very, very fast. So this is something for the person who is short of time, just needs to learn a little bit about programming Excel, and they can save a tremendous amount of time. So I've started doing this course, and I particularly tackled it over this period, and now it's almost ready to go online. Fantastic.
Excel, how long have you taken doing the macros?
I've probably put in about 25 to 30 hours into it so far.
Thank you.
Sorry, Rick, how long is the course? How long?
It's got 5 modules. Each module's got about 4 or 5 lessons in it with a recap. So you could do it over about 5 weeks or so if you wanted to.
That's great.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Tendai.
So it's interesting. Thank you, madam. That's highlights of my holiday. Maybe before I talk about highlights of my holiday, you need to know who I am so you appreciate the highlights of my holiday. I am a working mom with little children. And so when you say holiday, that probably doesn't exist in my world. I was on holiday from work, but not on holiday. Because when it's holiday, you also give your helper a chance to go on holiday. So that they have a holiday and you stay with your kids. And that's not a holiday at all. Because then you are in charge of everything. The highlight that I remember is that I had to go for the Peppa Pig show twice. The third time I refused. I said, I'm not going, somebody else should go with them. And finally, I just took them for the Peter Pan show and said, you know what, let's just pass through so that we say we have gone somewhere else again. Otherwise, my holiday was full of work, 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 just of a different type. Thank you.
Tendai, how was the Peter Pan show?
I was paying attention to the little people in the show itself.
Did they enjoy it?
They did.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Our next speaker is Lansheka. Have I pronounced it right?
It's Lanzeka.
Lansheka, sorry.
Thank you. Highlights of my holiday. Okay, so I was in Richards Bay. I'm from a small town called Richards Bay. So I went home. So one thing that I've realized over the years being in Joburg is that, you know, most people know more about KZN than me, even though I'm from KZN. So I took the decision that these holidays, I'm going to explore KZN. So we went on a holiday to Shady Beach with my siblings and my husband. And in one of the days that we were there, being from the coast, you know, you find a lot of snakes at home. So one of the days we went to some hotel for lunch, and we were fortunate to find that they had a workshop on snakes, which is something I felt we needed because every time we see a snake, you know, we panic. And in Richards Bay, that's quite common. Almost monthly, you know, you're most likely to find a snake in your house or one of your trees. So the biggest highlights was, you know, just learning about snakes and understanding that not every snake is dangerous, you know, and how to identify and how to act around snakes. So yeah, that was the highlight of my holiday.
And tell me, that workshop, did it change your take on snakes?
Yeah, a lot.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Our next speaker is Rodney. Rodney, highlights of your holiday.
Hello? Baby, I think I know what we should do for the holidays. Immediately I rolled my eyes thinking, oh my goodness, this lady is about to cause kerfuffle to my planned peaceful holiday. But me being the lady pleaser, I said yes, grudgingly of course. The day came, bought the tickets, woke up. I thought to myself, I need to psych myself up because I'm not really looking forward to the experience. Drank a bit of gin and tonic, got myself in the mood. She came and we went to the show. The DJ was this amazing DJ, apparently, Black Coffee, good music, played his music on our way to the show. We get there and we punch our tickets, we walk in there, and oh my goodness, it was a mess. It took us an hour to get drinks. It took us an hour to even get a spot to watch the performance properly, and even worse, the toilets. It took us an hour to even use the toilet. The entire experience was a kerfuffle. So immediately, I drowned my sorrows in alcohol, bought 10 glasses of whatever was being sold there, drank myself under the table, and sadly I missed the performance because I was too drunk. So it was a highlight, but a negative one, I guess. Thank you.
What learning did you take away from that?
Don't please the ladies.
Our next speaker is Millicent.
Hi, thank you very much. So I had 2 highlights for my December holiday, and the first one was Christmas Day. So I got a really cool Christmas present, and it was quite exciting for me because the story behind me getting that present is that I recently moved out, and obviously I'm still furnishing my house, I need new stuff. So I got a kettle and a toaster, and they match really well with my house, so it was quite exciting for me. And I enjoy making tea now and having toast. And then the second one was I went on holiday, and I first went to Richards Bay. Thank God I didn't find snakes in the hotel because I'm quite scared of them. And it was my first time at the beach, and it was the most amazing experience ever. And I really enjoyed myself. And after that, I went to Durban, and I even tried snorkeling for the first time, and it was so awesome. And I'm already planning my next trip, and I really can't wait. Maybe I'm going to Cape Town next year because I've never been to Cape Town too. So this year I'm going to Cape Town. So I'm really looking forward to that. So yeah, that's my holiday.
Millicent, what did you see when you were snorkeling?
A lot of fish, but I don't really remember the names. But I saw a baby shark.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like a really small one.
Lovely. Thank you very much. Our next speaker is Lynn.
No, it was quite
Thank you, Total Topics Master. 2020 started early for me, and then I have a very, very generous best male friend, Greg, who lives in Sydney, and very kindly bought me a ticket to visit him for 3 weeks in Sydney. We live very well together. Our wish lists were exactly the same, and we enjoyed delectable breakfasts out about 10 times in the 3 weeks. Smashed avo, poached eggs, sourdough toast, all those lovely things. Magnificent coastal walks, afternoon naps, efficient and user-friendly public transport. However, more meaningful than those wonderful things was being a witness to kindness. You are probably all aware of the kerfuffle around the tragic fires. Incredible kindness of people caring for each other. And meeting Greg's dearest friends. He's a hockey player, so I was a thorn amongst 5 roses. The nicest chaps. And his first friend he made in Sydney 7 years ago, Jackie, I asked him to invite her for dinner. Lovely to meet her, and his probably best guy friend Brian, who's got to be one of the warmest human beings I've ever met in my life. And so I rest so easy knowing that he's so, so deeply cared for by these people. And his delectable pooch, furry friend, Vinny, whose favourite toy is a empty toilet roll. And he was just adorable, and I loved being loved by him and loving him. So those are my highlights. Thank you.
And was Sydney affected by the fires?
No, very surprisingly not. I expected very hazy conditions, and I didn't almost experience that at all in the 3 weeks I was there. Fortunately for me, but yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Our last speaker is David.
Madam Topics Master, ladies and gentlemen, I consider December normally as a holiday month for me. But I must say, this last December, I was waiting. I've never worked in December as much as I worked this time. So in a way, it was more of a kerfuffle than anything else. But two highlights. Christmas Day. You know, Christmas Day, all the family that we have here in Johannesburg, plus extended family, decided to come over to my place and spend the day there. Brought lots of food, lots of kids, and we've got a big swimming pool there in the complex. And we had, of course, lots of good food, and the kids were swimming, and we were reminiscing on good old days. And at the end of the day, I felt so loved and so special because of all these people around us, you know. And then the second highlight was on the 28th. A niece who lives all the way in California decides to have her birthday celebration here, 50th birthday. And she invites people from all over the world to come over, including my wife and myself. And we go to this evening event, and the amount of joy, the happiness, the music, and just people dancing. I felt so free, I ended up dancing myself. And so it was incredible. And so out of that busyness, two powerful highlights, and I really enjoyed those two highlights. Thank you very much.
David, it seems to have been a very special 2 days, and giving you the opportunity to connect with people, unexpectedly, I suspect, on the 28th, or perhaps not. But
Kind of unexpected, got the invitation a week before it happened.
wow. So that was almost unexpected.
Yeah, almost unexpected. Thank you.
But I really get your joy. It's such a pleasure. Thank you so much. Mr. Timekeeper, can we have the times?
We certainly can, ma'am. Kashik, 1 minute 57 seconds, almost a kerfuffle there. Lucy, 1 minute 43 seconds. Adrian, again, kerfuffle, 2 minutes 11. Snanzi, 1 minute 25. Rick, 2 minutes and 8 seconds. Tendai, 1 minute 22. Tandeka, 1 minute and 5. Rodney, 1 minute 45. Millicent, 1 minute 13. Lynn, 1 minute 44. And David, 2 minutes and 7 seconds.
Thank you very much. Assignment. So I'll hand back to our Toastmaster.
Thank you.
That was a wonderful participation. Well done to all our visitors and guests. Thank you. Very exciting holidays. Okay. We will now vote for the best presenter. We'll give Kobus again an opportunity to slowly go through the list of the names of the participants.
are you talking about the topics or are you talking about the speakers as well?